3 alarm clocks. 3 different mornings, same 24 hours. But the price of living them? That changes everything. I'm going to walk you through one full day at 3 different income levels: minimum wage, median salary, and 6 figures, and show you exactly how much time each purchase, each commute, each unexpected crisis costs you at every tier. If you want to understand why the wealth gap feels impossible to cross, this is the math that explains it. And if you're serious about moving up, stick around, because we're ending with the 2 highest leverage moves that actually work. So let's start with the alarms. First alarm, 5:45 a.m., minimum wage worker. $7.25 per hour. That's about 12 cents per minute. Every single minute of sleep you lose costs you money. The alarm goes off. It's dark outside. The bedroom is small, efficient, every surface has a purpose. Rent takes up most of the paycheck, so there's no room for extras. The person in that bed opens their eyes to another day that's already calculated down to the minute. Second alarm, 6:30 a.m., median salary worker, $56,000 a year. That breaks down to about $26 per hour, or 43 cents per minute. The bedroom is larger. There's a second monitor on the desk, a window with actual morning light coming through. Still an alarm though. Still that jolt of responsibility. The day hasn't even started, and already the math is running in the background. Third alarm, 7:15 a.m., 6-figure earner. $120,000 a year, $58 per hour, 97 cents per minute. And yet, there's still an alarm, because time is the one thing money actually can't buy more of. The bedroom is spacious, high up, the city sprawling below in geometric patterns of light, but that alarm still sounds the same way it does for everyone. Now, let's talk about the morning routine. Minimum wage worker gets 4 minutes to shower. That's about 50 cents. They can't afford to waste hot water. The bathroom is utilitarian, a single shower head, steam rising in neat patterns against pale tile. The person stands under it, already thinking about the commute, already running the numbers in their head, even if they don't realize it. Median salary person takes a 10-minute shower, $4.30. There's nicer soap here, a rainfall shower head, a heated mirror. The water pressure is stronger. It's not luxury, but it's comfort. The person lets the water run across their shoulders, taking maybe 30 seconds longer than they need to. It's a small indulgence, and it costs about 43 cents. 6-figure person showers for 12 minutes, $19.44. The shower has rainfall jets from above and body sprays along the walls, all controlled from a central panel. The water temperature is perfect. They're not thinking about the cost. They're not counting minutes. The steam rises in elegant patterns against dark tile and glass. Breakfast. Minimum wage, instant oatmeal and black coffee from home, 90 cents. The person sits at a small table, facing a wall, eating quickly, drinking from a mug that's been through 100 mornings. Every bite is fuel, nothing more. Median salary, Greek yogurt, granola, fresh berries, and a better coffee, $4.20. There's a small kitchen window here, some natural light, a sense that breakfast is a moment, not just a transaction. The person eats, standing at a counter, checking their phone, but there's a beat of actual enjoyment in it. 6-figure, avocado toast with poached eggs, fresh squeezed orange juice, and a cold brew prepared yesterday. $12. The kitchen is bright, modern, everything is premium. The person sits down to eat. There's no rush. The food looks like it was meant to be savored. Now we get to the commute. This is where the income levels start to feel very different. Minimum wage worker takes a bus, 45 minutes, $2.50 in fare. The bus is crowded in the morning. The person stands, holding onto a pole, watching the city move past windows that need cleaning. 45 minutes is a long commute when you're earning 12 cents per minute. That commute costs almost 10 minutes of work. Before they even arrive, they've already paid $7 just to get there. Median salary person drives, 35 minutes. Gas, wear and tear on the vehicle, comes out to about $8, but they own the car outright mostly. They sit in traffic on a highway, watching neon signs reflect off wet pavement, tapping the steering wheel to music. The commute feels less like sacrifice and more like transition time. They're checking podcasts, thinking about the day ahead. 6-figure person lives closer, or uses a different calculus entirely. 20 minutes, a nicer car, maybe leased, that costs about $15 in true ownership per commute. But more likely they're in a premium area and their commute is shorter, or they have enough flexibility to leave at a different time. 20 minutes in traffic looks different when you're earning almost $1 per minute. The car has leather seats, ambient lighting, everything is designed for comfort. The commute is less of a burden and more of a pocket of private time. They all arrive at work at different times, but they're all now thinking about the first true expense of the day, the coffee they didn't bring from home because the morning was what it was. Minimum wage worker buys a black coffee at the corner cart. $2. That's about 16 minutes of work. 16 minutes for a coffee. The person holds the cup, feeling the warmth, and already that's a significant chunk of their daily budget. There's a certain calculus that happens in a low-wage worker's mind where every purchase is weighed against survival. Median salary person stops at a coffee shop. $4.50. That's about 10 minutes of work. The shop has mood lighting, some plants, it feels like a small luxury. They order a latte, they might add a pastry. It's not frivolous, but it's also not something they have to think hard about. Six-figure person orders a specialty drink, maybe $10. That's about 6 minutes of work. But here's the psychological difference. They don't think of it in minutes of work at all. They think of it in whether they want it. The decision is binary, not mathematical. Mid-morning rolls around. 11 a.m., all three workers are in their offices or job sites, and they're already thinking about lunch, because lunch is expensive, no matter who you are. But then something happens. Something that happens to everyone, and wipes out days or weeks of savings, depending on where you are. The check engine light comes on. The person's car needs a repair, a diagnostic fee, some work on the transmission, parts and labor. The total bill when they get the call is $180. Minimum wage worker gets the call. $180. At 12 cents per minute, that's 25 hours of work. That's more than 3 full workdays. The person's mind goes blank for a second. They have maybe $400 in savings. Maybe. This repair eats up nearly half of it. They have to do it, though. They need the car to get to work. So they authorize it, and they spend the next few hours sick to their stomach, doing the math on whether they can afford groceries this week. Suddenly, every purchase today looks different. Lunch becomes a question. Median salary worker gets the same call. $180. At 43 cents per minute, that's about 7 hours of work. That's a normal workday, essentially. It's an inconvenience. It's a bummer. It comes out of the discretionary budget, so maybe they don't go out this weekend, or they push back the new headphones they were thinking about buying. But it doesn't threaten their survival. They authorize the repair and move on. Six-figure worker gets the call. $180. At 97 cents per minute, that's about 3 hours of work. 3 hours. The person almost laughs. They authorize it immediately. They don't think about it again. By the end of the day, they won't even remember they had it done. The same emergency. 3 completely different realities. Lunch happens. Minimum wage worker brings a sandwich from home. Cost to make it, 90 cents. But the emotional cost of not going out with coworkers, of staying at their desk while others are out, that's harder to calculate. They eat the sandwich, it's fine. It's saving money, which they desperately need after the car repair. Median salary worker goes to a casual restaurant with a coworker. Salad, sandwich, a drink. $15 total. They have a nice break. They talk about their weekend plans. They feel normal. They feel like someone who can afford a lunch out. Six-figure worker has a standing reservation at a nicer place. They get something they actually want. Maybe seafood, a good drink. $25. They expense part of it. They're networking a bit, even though it doesn't feel like work. Lunch is genuinely enjoyable. Afternoon work is the same for all three in one sense. Time passing. But the value of that time is different. Minimum wage worker is watching the clock. They need to hit their shift, pick up overtime if possible, because they still need to rebuild that emergency fund. 45 more minutes and they can leave. But those 45 minutes feel long. Median salary worker is in meetings, heads down on projects. The afternoon dissolves into itself. They barely notice it's 5 o'clock until someone mentions it. Six-figure worker finishes early. They have the flexibility to work from home if they want, or to step out. They take a 15-minute break. Watch the neon signs and geometric patterns in the buildings around them. They're not rushing. End of shift approaches. Minimum wage worker has picked up 2 hours of overtime, an extra $23 after taxes. That helps. That's about 30 more minutes toward rebuilding the emergency fund. They're exhausted, but they did it. They worked 7 hours and 45 minutes and earned about $80 before taxes. Median salary worker packs up, checks email one more time, heads to their car. They worked 8 hours and earned about $212 before taxes. Tomorrow will probably be similar. Six-figure worker finishes a call, shuts everything down, heads out. They worked 7 hours, deliberately left early because they can. They earned about $400 before taxes. They're thinking about dinner, about what they want to do tonight. The commute home mirrors the commute in. But now they're all tired, and the calculus gets different. Minimum wage worker takes the bus again. 45 minutes, $2.50. They stand holding the pole, watching the city change from business district to residential streets. They're thinking about dinner. They're thinking about the car repair. They're thinking about how long they need to keep doing this.